Hello and welcome to Autofocus. A few weeks ago, we drove the Toyota Urban Cruiser Highrider, Toyota's first hybrid vehicle in the mass segment. Today, we are going to be driving and testing its twin. I'm talking about the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. This here is not just Maruti's first hybrid, it's also Maruti's first truly collaborative effort with Toyota, a vehicle that has been co-developed with Toyota. It's the two brands that have brought together their synergies and their strengths to create a vehicle that is going to deliver benefits for both these brands. It's an SUV that's going to help Maruti get into the premium segment, and it's an SUV that is going to help Toyota get into the mass segment hybrid categories. So currently the Honda City eHEV is the only strong hybrid available in the market. The Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara then is combining with the Toyota Urban Cruiser Highrider to offer a sort of twin solution for people seeking a strong hybrid in the SUV space. Hybrids could be the interim solution that we've been waiting for, that could then make a difference to people looking to stretch their fuel rupee. It's also a solution that can deliver a technology agnostic, lower carbon footprint. So that's the front fascia of the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara, SUV that does not have a striking resemblance to its Toyota twin, which is a good thing because Maruti and Toyota have had a few vehicles in the past like the Glanza and the Baleno, which have had a striking resemblance to each other, which have looked like badge engineered products. This here though has some differences, and the fascia has been reworked, the grille is different, and all of those dark chrome elements that this particular top-end hybrid variant gets creates a different face. The lights are also slightly different, the configuration is different, and that is a welcome thing. Entire front clearly upright SUV body style delivers that impact in terms of size, and it being larger than compact or subcompact SUV out there in the market. The side profile, of course, is where the two cars, the Toyota Urban Cruiser Highrider and the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara, match quite a bit. The profile is very similar, but there is still a lot of differences both at the front and at the rear that helps give this a unique identity. So that's the badging that is key here. Maruti has been making micro hybrids in the past. This one here is a strong hybrid. The powertrain has been co-developed with Toyota specifically to fit the needs of this SUV, the Grand Vitara. Maruti Suzuki has decided to call the two powertrain versions for the Grand Vitara with two different names. The K15 engine powertrain variants are called a Smart Hybrid, and the Toyota new generation architecture engine and the hybrid system is called an Intelligent Electric Hybrid version. The Smart Hybrid gets 4 trim variants, and the Intelligent Electric Hybrid gets 2 top-end variants, Zeta Plus and Alpha Plus. Smart Hybrid is Maruti's own powertrain, and it is also fairly big list of features. The top-end variants are loaded, including of course a sunroof and auto climate control. Hybrid is the only one that gets ventilated seats. The cabin feels very similar, of course, to the Toyota Highrider, or the other way around, whichever way you look at it. These are clearly twins. The steering especially is the one that feels the most identical to each other, with just the badges having been replaced. The overall impact of the cabin is very, very good. There is this dark chocolate brown and black color theme that Maruti has chosen for its top-end trim variants. The ones that you see in these frames are the top trim variants of both the hybrid and the Smart Hybrid variants. Cabin has a clean, flush finish, lots of features that look premium, even feel premium to the touch. Stitched panels on the dashboard, fake metal inserts, the touchscreen on top of the center stack, and the digital instrument cluster in the Intelligent Hybrid. The seats are also very well constructed, ventilated seats, of course, a big positive during a hot summer day. Manual all-wheel drive variant gets mode selection right next to the gear stick with the possibility of either choosing snow, sport or an auto mode. The air conditioning, like in most other Maruti, is very effective, cools the cabin pretty quickly. There is also rear AC vents. The cabin itself is fairly spacious and there is a lot of room in the boot. Suzuki Connect is also on offer, and there is quite a few of the standard features that are there now with a connected car possibilities, including geofence, valet alert, stolen vehicle alert and notification, and of course some of the other remote functions like door lock and lock, headlights off and AC on and off, with the automatic transmission variants that are available. In terms of safety and security, there are features like front, side and curtain airbags, in addition of course to the dual front airbags, which is standard across all variants, 360-degree view camera, reverse parking sensors and camera, and of course electronic stability and hill hold assist. There is also hill descent control, which we managed to try out and experience in the off-road section, where we did put the Grand Vitara through quite a few of the courses that had been set up for us to experience. Off-road capability for the car, good. I would say it's still not amongst genuine off-roaders out there, but still there is considerable progress, and in case you do find yourself in a situation where in an urban context there is a need for using four-wheel drive, Suzuki All Grip does come into play, and it can pull you out of some tricky situations if you're faced with one. So what we drove earlier today was the hybrid, but what we are driving right now, and with its engine bay open, is the automatic variant of Maruti's own K15C engine, the new generation K15, and this is a 1.5 litre petrol engine that we know is available in some of the other vehicles in Maruti's portfolio. What we have here of course is the automatic variant. It's a 6-speed torque converter automatic. We will be driving the manual, which is the only gearbox with which the all grip, as Maruti calls it, the four-wheel drive version is available with the manual transmission. We're going to be taking that off-road in a bit, but what we have right here is the K15C and the 6-speed automatic, and this is an engine that delivers about 104 PS of peak power and 136.8 Newton meters of torque. This engine with this gearbox is typically focused on efficiency if you're driving it in automatic mode, and the D mode is, very typically focused like Maruti's other vehicles are. But if you do want to drive it aggressively, if you do want to enjoy your drive and be personally involved in gear selection, of course the paddles are available. It also has a manual Triptronic mode on the gear stick. Suspension setting that is nice. In terms of its balance between firmness and a pliant ride, there is enough dynamics for it to handle some of the corners at speed, though there is still a mild level of body roll. The general dynamics, I would say, is certainly better than most other Maruti vehicles that we've driven. This of course is Maruti's contribution in the powertrain department. The hybrid engine of course is a Toyota engine. It's a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine that is an Atkinson cycle engine developed by Toyota and is paired with an eCVT. The engine itself delivers about 92 PS of peak power and 122 Newton meters of torque. AC synchronous electric motor that the battery then sends the charge to power the front axle delivers about 59 kilowatt of power and about 141 Newton meters of torque. The combined system output is about 115.5 PS of peak power. Now this combination is the same combination that the Toyota Urban Cruiser Hyryder comes with, and this is already a positive. The fact that it is lithium ion battery packed, it's about 0.8 kilowatt in terms of its capacity, not very big a battery, but then it is still a strong hybrid capable of delivering an EV only mode range, though the range is not defined clearly because the system calculates simultaneously what is the state of charge, what is the speed at which the car is running, what are the other conditions that the car is currently faced with, and then decides whether it should be battery power solely or a combination of battery and petrol power then needs to be using. This hybrid is a strong hybrid system that is focused on delivering efficiencies. Maruti claims more than 27 kilometers as the rated fuel efficiency for the hybrid, but it's still very, very effective in terms of delivering that great bang for the buck. Though it's not really peppy to drive, it can still be quite engaging if you keeping the car on a boil in the mid RPM range, and it does not feel like a 3-cylinder inside the cabin. That is also another positive. So then, does the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara deliver on its promise? Now, is this the hybrid that you should be buying? I mean, I would say between this and the Toyota, there is very little difference in terms of dynamics and performance. In terms of the cabin, they have very smartly chosen different themes, chosen slightly different trim levels, but then again there is a lot of similarities inside the cabin. Like we saw, the steering wheel is a literal carryover with just the badge being replaced. So then the choice is really between these two brands and these two vehicles. Much of it is still the same under the skin, and both these companies have used their strengths to come up with solutions for any type of buyer in this segment. It still is an excellent alternative to SUVs out there that is already there in the compact to family size. That said, Toyota at this moment in time when we're doing this review have already announced their prices, and the top trim variant is about 19 lakhs. It'll be interesting to see what Maruti does in terms of how it price positions these, the Grand Vitara, but we are expecting pretty aggressive pricing, and knowing Maruti, they're very capable of delivering on that value proposition, which is something that the brand has always stood for.